Well, because Adesanya is one of those new internet kids, right? These internet kids don't even need to verify if something's true. They use it. There's a rumor, they use it, which is actually quite astounding because there was a rumor that Jones hid under that cage for years. Adesanya somehow got him to admit to doing it. He actually got him to admit to doing it. So, I mean, there's obviously a method to his madness. And I thought when that started and he kept going after Jones, I was like, man, I can only imagine how many plates or like coffee mugs Jones broke in his house that night because he's so mad. But then when he got him to admit that, it was nuts. But Jones has had some good comebacks too. You know, it's been good. And if you're Israel Adesanya, you just don't fight him. Because you know how mad he is, right? Could you imagine making this man as mad as he is making him and just not fighting him? Because it doesn't seem like Izzy's ready to fight him right now, but I think this is the matchup. Well, Jones wants to fight him. Like, Jones wants to fight him. Like, everybody talks about Jones, but Jones is a fighter, man. He'll fight you. He'll fight anybody. And he wants to fight Adesanya. But Izzy won't even fight him, like, which is the most... It's like just like picking on somebody constantly, but at a distance. Like, I'm away from you. And I'm not saying Adesanya's scared, but Adesanya says, I need my time. You said you were going to heavyweight 10 years ago. You're finally doing it now. You know, why can't I have time? It's very fascinating the way that these two interact with you. It's nasty, but these rivalries tend to get nasty. I mean, Jones and it was not nice, and they tend to get nasty, but that makes it fun for fans. I hope they fight at some point. I think it's a very interesting matchup, and I think that Adesanya is just improving every time out. So if I'm Jones, I'm fighting him sooner than later if I can get him in there. Because remember, this guy's only been here for a couple years, and now he looks like he's going to hold the belt forever. I mean, what he did to Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa's still delusional. I mean, I like Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa's like, sign the contract. What contract? There's no contract, Paulo. It's not coming. Like, after what happened a couple weeks ago, there's no contract coming. See, now I never thought about that. That's interesting. Having Izzy go up. See, because here's the dilemma with the fight. What weight are they going to fight at? Right? Because now that Jones is putting on weight, does Jones want to come all the way back down to 205? That's championship weight. That's not easy for him. It was never easy for any of us. Making 205, is awful. It was awful. And it's awful. It's hard for Jones, too. He's a big guy. So for Adesanya to come up and just think that dude's going to deplete himself all the way back down to the championship weight, that's probably not what he would want to do. But if Adesanya can get past Blachowicz and now he's holding that title, now it might be a little bit more intriguing to Jones to go back down there. I mean, I don't know the weight. I really don't care, though. Like, I think Adesanya's a big guy. They can fight 215. Jones has finally wrapped his head around going up, right? Because for a long time he teased it, but it was never truly like a real thing. And now that he's wrapped his mind around it, I don't know if he's going to want to like kind of divert that back to going to 205. It's a massive change for a guy that it took a long time to make up his mind, and now he has. So I don't know. I don't know if he's willing to go back down there. Yeah, and he doesn't seem to, he's a big guy, but he doesn't seem to struggle to make the weight, right? He steps on the scale. He always looks pretty good. He doesn't look like he's dying when he steps out there. I mean, you've seen guys step on the scale, Max Holloway at 145. Like, you see guys looking like they're about to just fall over. Izzy doesn't look like that when he's making 185. So you can tell that he's a true middleweight. And there's honor in cleaning out the division before you start looking to new things, right? Because what about the guy that's next? What about the Jared Cannonier, who has done so many spectacular things to earn a title fight? All of a sudden, the champion's gone. That's not really good for the sustainability of a weight class. So, Izzy wanting to stay there and fight is great for the division, but fans, which is what we are, we love the sport. We're fans of the sport. Fans want to see the next big thing. And the next big thing is Izzy versus Jones. And Jared Cannonier is a dangerous guy if he can get past Robert Whittaker. Because I believe that it comes down to matchups, right? Robert Whittaker wins. Do you make Whittaker versus Adesanya 2 already? Or do you kind of start going, now it's time for the Jones fight? Cannonier is something fresh and something new. People can get excited about it.